how's it going, everybody? This is Kyle from the UA Playbook. I'm going to introduce you into a deck that I really find fun. It is my green GGO Sinon Kirito deck. With that being said, let's get right into the deck profile. Alright, starting things off, we run 2 Yugi. Has a draw trigger as well. When played, you get to draw a card and sideline a card from your hand to the sideline. Then you run 2 Musketeer X. Has an active trigger to give something plus 3k and restand it. As well as when played, choose something on your front line, it gets plus 1000 until the end of the turn. You play 4 of the Kirito. Has a trigger to draw a card in life. And then you run 4 of the 0-drop Sinon. What this card states is you get to add it to hand, and it is a raid target for Sinon. So this deck's focus is trying to get to Sinons and Kiritos and keeping on a pretty decent curve and being able to play them whenever you see the raid targets. So in this deck, I'm running 12 zeros. Very fun. I like it a lot. Then for the 1-drops, I'm running 2 Yamakaze. What it states is when played, draw. You must bounce back a 1-drop or lesser to your hand. Otherwise, he goes to the removal area. So it's very important to have a 0 or another 1-drop that you're not using to be able to grab back. Which, unfortunately, well, that's why we run the Yukis, the other cards in this deck as well, like the Musketeer X's, to keep on spamming them. For the 2-drops, you're running 2 Sinon. What this character does is it has no trigger, but it does produce you 2 energy when she restands on your at the end of your turn. So she goes from producing you 1 energy to 2 energy, and it stays on 2 unless something happens to her being rested. Then we run a total of 4 of the step 2-drop 3k action, and as well as being able to look at the top card of your deck hold on. I believe it's the top. Yeah, it is the top card of your deck. Let's just make sure. Yep. Look at the top card of your deck, and if you don't like it, you can put it at the bottom of your deck. So, yeah, she's got step 3k, produces 1 energy, and then you get to manipulate your deck a little bit. Very fun. Very good. And as well, being a 3k on 2, that's really good. Really good. Early on advantage, that's for sure. So I'm running a total of 5 2-drops in the deck. And then let's move on to the 3-drops of the deck. I'm running 4 of the Silica. Oops, wasn't supposed to show that quite yet. However, we're running 4 of the Silica. Silica states it has step, and then when played, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, place any number of them on the top of your deck in any order, and place any remaining cards in your sideline. So let's just say you look at the top 2 cards of your deck. If you don't like anything, sideline them. If you like something, keep it on top or sideline one or the other. You can sideline both or keep both on top, whatever you want to do. Very good, helps you filter, helps you find cards, as well as producing you 2 energy so you can stay on the 7 and 6 curve, as we're going to get into in a little bit. Then you run a total of 4 of the 3-drop 2 energy and active trigger Kirito, so it can boost up, stand up something, give it plus 3k. But his when played effect states, so the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal it to 1 GGO affinity card other than Kirito among them. Add to your hand and place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. If you added a card to your hand, place one card from your hand in your sideline. So you cannot grab any Kirito off of them. So it doesn't matter if it's this Kirito or a different Kirito, the 0-drop, or whatever Kirito you're running in here. If you find a Kirito off of him, you cannot grab him. However, it lets you grab your Sinons, lets you grab anything that has GGO affinity outside of Kirito. But yes, very good card. Helps you filter even more in giving you 2 energy. Then I run a total of 4 of the color trigger Sinon. She has a 3k, produces you 2 energy, and then has, if this character has 4,000 or more BP, it gains impact 1. Her color trigger states play up to 1 green character with 2 or less energy and 1 AP from your hand set to active on your field. So that can get you out the 2-drop Sinon, or any Sinon, or anything that's at least 2 energy or less with 1 AP. Such a good card, such a good card. There's a lot of combos that you can do with this card. Then let's go on to the 6-drops of the deck. You're running 4 of the 6-drop Raid Sinon. Boy, oh boy. How do I feel about this card? Man, I think this card is absolutely nasty, and if done correctly, can be a nightmare for your opponent. So what she states is, when played, this character gains Snipe. So when you raid her, she gains Snipe for the turn. So it goes away at the end of the turn, but she has Snipe for that turn. But also it has when this character attacks and wins a battle. It doesn't lose this ever. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck and place any number of cards on top, any number of them on the top of your deck in any order, and then place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. And then you get to choose one of your other cards up on your field against plus 1,000 BP till end of turn. So this not only can it trigger off the 3-drop Sinon to give it impact, the color trigger one, it could also give anything that you need an additional boost to be able to possibly remove something or help you go for game. Very good card. Very, very, very good card. Arguably, I think I like it a little bit more than Kurapika. That's a hot take. Then I'm going to go into the next last cards that you can play in the deck that are character-wise. We're running 4 of the 7-drop Kirito. So, very busted card, especially with some of the cards that you've already seen in this deck. So, his raid effect, he gains all of this. He comes in with Impact 1. Then when either character on your field wins a battle this turn, this character gains damage to him to end of turn. So, let's just say you've played a Sinon, you sniped something, and you KO'd it, and you won the battle. Or it doesn't even have to KO, it just has to win the battle. So, if there's a weird chance in hell that something were to come up where you do not KO it, but you win the battle still, for whatever reason, he gains damage to, as well as having Impact 1 on a 5k stick. Very good. As well as, so these are inherent effects that he has generically, regardless, besides having the impact and possibly getting damage too. During your opponent's turn, your opponent cannot choose this card with an ability on an event card unless they place one card from their hand or their sideline as an additional cost. So making them have to discard a card to remove a 5k body is very dumb. As well as the other effect that he has is activate main, choose one other character on your field against plus 1,000 BP until end of turn. So that's kind of really dumb when you think about it in this context. Being able to choose the color trigger, Sinon, make it in a 4k impact 1 with this thing being able to swing for 5k, possibly has impact 1 as well, and possibly if they blocked with the Sinon, having to take damage too. Really cool, very nifty, kind of synergizes very well in the deck. Kind of like the perfect combo you want to see. Then, for the special that we run in the deck, you run 4 Ultimate Ratio Hectate 2. You get to choose one character on your field against 2,500 BP, and when this character attacks and wins a battle, draw a card until the end of the turn. If the character is a Sinon, it also gains Snipe. So your Sinon that may have lost Snipe the turn prior can become a 7,500 with a Kirito with Impact and Snipe. Well, no, just Snipe, but there's ways of getting him Impact. Don't worry about that. And then also, because the Sinon, the 6-drop Sinon lets you manipulate the top 2 cards of your deck, you can also choose which card you want to draw off the Ultimate Hectate. Kind of nifty. Kind of nifty. Then you have to run 4 your final in this list. Barbecue. You have to choose 2 of your AP cards and switch to the active, so very good. And also, if it's the last card in your life, you don't lose. Hopefully, don't lose. That's why it's, again, some lists in Japan are only playing 3, while here in the West, we're kind of playing it with 4. Really good, really good. The last 2 cards in my deck are 2 Photon Sword. This card states choose one character on your field against 2,000 BP, and it 2,000 BP until end of turn. If Kirito is on your field, the chosen character gains also Impact 1. So as long as you have a Kirito out, that's what I was saying with the Sinon, you can give it, the Kirito will give it plus 1k, Ultimate Hectate ratio will give it plus 25, so we're looking at 75, 85, 95, Impact 1 with Snipe. I mean, you really don't need all that, but you might just need the Snipe and then the additional booster with this to be able to, well, get over something like a 5k or something else like that, or you're just trying to push for the game. Very dumb. So that being said, that is the deck list. Let's get into some opinions and thoughts on how the deck is going to get better and how it is in this format currently. So now that you've all seen the deck list, these are my opinions on the deck. So I personally think this is going to be a very hot take, but I think Green GGO Sinon Kirito is just a little bit better than Kurapika. Yes, Kurapika has Ahsoka. Yes, Kurapika has consistency and all that, but being able to consistently have Snipe, consistently being able to have 5k bodies and damage 2, can't be removed, so on and so forth, impactors. I think this deck is very good, and even better so on being able to keep on the curve. That's just my hot take. Now, I could be proven wrong. I played Kurapika before, but it's been a while. Now, as it stands currently within our format, where do I think Green GGO Sinon really stands with Kirito? Probably not so good right now. With how the format has evolved and being more aggro, I don't know how it's going to do. I haven't had a lot of testing with it since Black Clover. I've had a lot of prior testing, and I felt really bad in the blue Sword Art Online with the Aincrad SAO, with the switch mechanic of Asuna and Kirito's. That deck is absolutely freaking bonkers against this deck because it's able to just repivot and not even care. However, I think, against a lot of other decks in the format, I think it could surprise some people. I think it has a really hard time against like Red Asta, control variations, things like that. But if you just find your nice little sweet spot and you're able to play through your stuff, I think the deck can do very well for you. Now, I know this deck's going to get some more support in Volume 2. I think it's going to actually explode the deck in popularity, and I think it's going to be a lot more prevalent. So maybe get your games in while you can to get some early on advantage and knowledge of how the deck's trying to play. But until next time, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The UA Playbook is signing out.